Hey everyone, welcome back to part four of the still life. Um, so this one is going to be significantly more difficult than the previous three. There's just going to be one video for this, and if you need any help, please reach out to me. If you have to repeat a step more than twice and still can't get it, please reach out to me. It's very common, and I want you to do that. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to draw a grape. So I'm going to click on my circle tool. I'm going to lock the background, unlock. Actually, no, I'm going to create a new layer. We're going to call it grape. All right, and right now it's at the very bottom, so we're going to move it um, below the bowl. So that way, let me see. Just let me double check. I always confuse myself. Yeah, there we go. So that way it'll be behind the bowl. All right, zoom into it. Make it grape shaped. We can make it smaller later. And then we're going to give it a color, a grape color. Go to our fill menu for that. Fill, and am I in the wrong layer? No, I'm in the correct layer. Oh, the alpha slider's all the way down. That would be why. All right, we're gonna get rid of the stroke real fast, and we're going to add a radial gradient. So radial gradient is this right here. We're going to click it, but we need to reverse it. So right now on this stop, and get our gradient tool out. There we go. All right, so right now on this stop, it looks like the alpha is all the way up. We want to turn that all the way down. And then we're going to click on the outside stop. It doesn't matter which outside stop you click. We're going to crank that all the way up. All right. We're going to crank that lightness all the way up. No, we're not. Never mind. I'm just going to press Control Z until I get it back to where I want it. There we go. Okay. Okay, so we have to make sure that we have the stopper selected. I thought it was selected before, but I'm just going to crank it up higher in the middle. Okay. I'm going to, I think, move this. Nope, I'm going to move this down in a little bit. All right, and I'm going to move this in a little bit. Basically, we're just kind of creating like a little highlight. Maybe out. We're going to click the whole stopper, and we're just going to move it up here. So that way it looks like a grape. And I'm going to get my select tool, and I'm going to hold down Control so it stays even. And that's it. We're just going to leave it like that. We're going to leave one grape for now because we're going to be adding to it a little bit later. And now we are going to move on to creating some soft highlights for our decanter. Fill and stroke menu, we can go ahead and lock the grape layer. We can unlock our decanter, and we want to select the decanter, not the liquid. All right, and then we're going to go to our fill and stroke menu. And in the fill, we want to select gradient. Comes up like this, don't panic. We're going to select our gradient tool. Now, something I've noticed is this stopper tool, gradient tool, is very picky. So what we need to do is we need to click on the left stopper, and we need to move our uh, make sure you're on HSL in the fill menu. We're going to move the L all the way to the right. Okay, we're going to go back and click on that again. And we're going to turn the alpha to, what was it, 43? Okay, and then we're going to click on the right stopper. Once again, turn the lightness all the way to the right. Click on the right stopper again, and we make sure that the A is all the way to the left. All right, and now we just want to move Oh, this is so hard to see. I should have picked a different background color. We basically want to make it look like the gradient is halfway in the decanter. Is it loading slowly for me? I'm going to put it here and we'll move this one. Okay, put that there. And we'll move this one here. So something like that. All right. I am going to quickly change my background color because this is going to drive me nuts. Uh, you don't have to do that if you're able to see, but you know I've told you guys in the past I'm colorblind, so it's very hard to see that soft highlight there for me. Okay, um, so yeah, I changed it to a darker color so I can see it much better, and it is so much better. Uh, Background is back locked up. Uh, Select my gradient tool, fill and stroke. Okay, and I can't work my gradient for some reason. I don't know why. Do I gotta click this again? Okay, sorry, I have to go through this again. Left slider, L all the way to the right. Okay, I'm sorry, it selected the whole thing. Let me fix this. All right, my apologies. I just pressed Control Z until it went back. So I got my, I went and selected on the proper path. It selected the whole decanter and the liquid. That's why it did that. So now I can go back to my fill and stroke menu and I can adjust my gradient accordingly so I can see it better. All right. Um, I'd like to turn the alpha slider just a little bit up, maybe to 55. Yeah, I want that a little bit brighter. That's just me. All right, so I did that, and I'm happy with that. I'm going to go back to my select tool and select the decanter, and I'm going to press Control C, copy. I'm going to go back to my layers, and I think I'll lock my decanter so that way I can't break it. And I'm going to go to my glass layer, and I'm going to unlock it. And I'm going to select, well, first I need to select, that's right. First I need to select the top part and the bottom, and we are going to go to the Object menu. We're going to select Group. Okay. Now that just means that they are together. So what we do to one, it'll do to the other. You can no longer select them individually. And we copied the decanter already. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Edit menu, and we're going to go to Paste Style. Okay. Now we're going to need a little bit of work with this gradient. Okay. We need to move the gradient over here. So just go click your gradient tool like I did a bit ago and bring it back over here. Okay, and it looks like we still have our linear gradient. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on it by going to View. Inkscape is running nice and slow. View Zoom Selection. All right. All right, the previous gradient wasn't working, so I just went and I selected no paint, and we're going to start with the gradient all over again. Okay, so uh, as long as you drag the stopper over, it'll still be there. Left gradient, L slider all the way to the right. Go back and select the left slider and move it somewhere in the middle. Select the right slider, L all the way up, and there we go. That is much better. Now you move the gradient line wherever you want to make it look the way you like. I'm going to actually switch. No, this is fine. All right, if you see a line up here, don't worry about it. That's the way the new Inkscape seems to be working. All right, so from here we can go ahead and go to our page view. Uh, Come on, Inkscape, which is the number 5 on your keyboard. And a good idea would be to save. Now, we're going to go back to our layers and we are going to go ahead and lock up the glass. Uh, I don't know why it has all these different locks on here, but we'll just lock up everything. Um, I just tested it. As long you can't, as long as your main layer for whatever the object is on is locked, you can't mess with it. Okay, so we're going to look for the bowl. I'll make that bigger, and we're going to unlock the bowl. I'm going to select the bowl, and I'm going to go to View, Zoom, Selection. It's number 3. I'm going to have to remember that. Zoom out just a bit. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to grab our ellipse tool, start up here, and we're going to draw an ellipse that is currently invisible. That's okay, don't worry about it. Go to your fill and stroke menu, give it a flat color. Give it a stroke. Um, what is going on? Oh, I'm sorry, I just realized it. The opacity is all the way down. All right, so just give it a fill and a stroke. Uh, I'm going to give it a stroke that's a different color than that. Just so you can see. It actually really doesn't even matter uh, that they're different because we're going to change them later. All right, so basically, we want it to be the same width as the bowl. All right, we're going to have it uh, basically fit something like this. So we'll make it the same width. All right, and then we're going to go to our circle tool and we're going to draw another one that is roughly the same size as the middle bowl. All right. And then one more that is roughly the same size as our bottom part. All right, so once again, we basically want the curves to somewhat match. This one's going to need some resizing. All right, and we're going to click our top ellipse. And we're going to go to Path, Object to Path, Node Tool. Just like we did with the liquid, we're going to delete that top one. And then with the node handle, hold down Control and bring it all the way flat. Okay? And, nope, wrong one. Where's the other node? The nodes are in weird spots here. So let's try this again. Select just the top one and press delete. Sorry, did it again. Click delete. Deleted the whole thing. Press the delete key. That's better. It was accidentally selecting multiple nodes. All right, so hold down Control and move these node handles to where they're, exactly 90 degrees or 180 degrees. All right, and then from there with our select tool, we can resize it. We can make it a little bit bigger. We don't have to. I'm going to make it something like that. All right. All right, and for the rest of these, we're basically just making sure that they match the shape of the bowl. So what we're going to do is I'm going to select the middle one. I'm going to go to Path, Object to Path. I am so sorry that this is being so slow. All right, and I'm going to adjust it here. Okay, and I'm going to click this node handle down. Try and get it similar angle. Move it out a bit, maybe. That's fine. Uh, that will work. All right, and then you can also use the select tool to resize. That's fine too. We're going to select this. This one's going to take a little more attention. It's quite all right. Path, object to path, node. Now here's the nice thing about nodes. You can add them. So I'm going to double click right here, and I'm going to double click right here. And I'm going to just drag it out right here and drag this guy out right here. If you're not comfortable doing this, you can also just use the Bezier tool to create a new shape. Okay, I'm going to drag this maybe out just a bit, and okay, move this guy in. It's going to take some getting used to, and that's perfectly all right. All right. You know, and like I said, we just want a rough shape of it. It's kind of hard to tell, and that's okay. If it's not perfect, it's not perfect. Don't you worry about it. All right. And we have to adjust this one. All right. I'd say that's fine. Just like that is fine. All right, so the next part, we're going to want our fill and stroke menu open. So I'm going to select the top one, no stroke. We're going to go with uh, no fill. Actually, no, I just want to see it for a second, so I'm going to give it a fill again. All right, go to the layers menu. We need to unlock the decanter again. Uh, looks like the decanter is selected, so I'm just going to press Control. Just make sure. Oh, it's locked. Actually, I'm going to lock these ones because this should just allow me good. I'm just going to select that. All right, and then I'm going to go back to that first one, and I'm going to go to Edit, Paste, Style. Okay, and back to the fill and stroke menu. It looks like we do have a stroke. All right, and in the fill menu with our gradient, click on our gradient tool, and it's over here, but I think we can just draw one. Yeah, there we go. We can just draw one. All right, that's probably what we should have did with the glass, but it's okay. So turn the lightness up. Same thing on the bottom stop. Turn the lightness up. We'll turn the saturation down. Okay, good. And now we're going to copy that. Select our second one. Edit. Paste. Style. All right. Click our bottom one. Edit. Paste. Style. Okay, so basically we're just kind of giving this some texture. So click that one. And there's really no written rule for this, okay? We're going to draw another gradient going up like that. All right. And I'm debating on how I want this bottom one to go. Because if you overlap it like this, it gives you that nice little look there. I'm going to click this top one, and I'm going to see if I can. There we go. There we go. Right there in the middle. I just didn't want the circle to overgo. All right, and this bottom one now. All right, we're gonna put a gradient on there. We're gonna draw our gradient. Draw it up. Okay. Let me see that top gradient. Get the lightness up all the way to the right, and let's get the alpha up to where you like it. I'd say that's good. And then mess around with the settings to where you like it. I think that's fine right there. And if you want to adjust the alpha, you can as well. I think that looks pretty good. Now we're also going to just add a blur of 3. Okay, you can go higher if you would like. Maybe 30. Yeah, that looks good. That looks good. All right, what about this guy? How high do we want to go? Type in 20. Don't really notice a difference. 30. 30. That's way too much. Let's try 10. Okay, that works. Now what about this? Try 3. I don't think that's enough. Try 15. Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. In fact, let's see if the middle one for 15 looks better. I think it does. All right. Now, my numbers are not going to be the same as yours probably, but you do you. Um, if you submit it with the same exact numbers that I have, that's perfectly fine. Uh, if not, that's okay too. All right. Just whatever you think looks happy or makes you happy. Now, go back and select that first ellipse if Inkscape wants to cooperate and copy it. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a little cloud in our liquid, which means layers, and let's just go ahead and unlock everything except for the grape, not the background, not that. I'm going to hover my mouse over the decanter liquid. I'm going to make sure my uh, what do you call it? My layer is on the decanter. And if you don't, it'll paste it on the bowl layer. You don't want that. Press Control V, and here we go. So I'm going to put that in there. I sure hope that this video is good quality and you're able to see it. All right, and you just resize it. If you have to go back to your nodes, that's fine. We're just adding a little cloudiness to it. That's perfectly okay. And then we're going to do the same for the, I don't know why I zoomed in so much. The thing's going to be much bigger. Do the same thing with the glass. There we go. All right. And if you want, oh, I just realized I made a mistake. See this? It's on the decanter layer. So I'm going to Control Z it till it's gone. Now I am going to go to the glass layer. I'm just going to select the glass layer and I'm going to go Control V. All right. And then resize it. I probably could have dragged it from the other layer, but I'll just do it this way. And if you want to add more cloudiness to it, you're perfectly welcome to. All right. Make it blurrier, or you can add more lightness to it, or I'm sorry, alpha to it like that. That's your call. Yeah, if you add more alpha and then add more blurriness, that is 100% your call. All right, I'm gonna zoom out, take a look at the whole thing. All right, and even though I selected the decanter layer, I mean, you guys saw it on video. I selected it when I pasted this one here, but it's not in the decanter layer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna see if I can put it in the decanter layer, which is locked. That's probably why I can't do that. Okay, let's try right clicking it. Move to layer. Which layer? Ah, perfect. Decanter. Move. There we go. All right. Let's give the decanter layer a lock, the bowl layer a lock, the glass layer a lock, and the background layer is already locked. Now would be also a good time to save. File, save. All right. Zoom in a bit. So go ahead and unlock your decanter layer. Select the decanter, just the decanter. Good, we know it's just the decanter because it's got that path. Go to our fill and stroke menu. We're going to the stroke. With your HSL slider, you're going to turn the L. And you're going to crank that up to there. And then lock the decanter layer, and we're going to do the same exact thing to the glass layer. Make sure you've got the glass selected. There we go. All right, I'll crank that up. Okay. And then lock the glass layer. All right. Now we're going to add hard highlights. So this is the same process for the glass and the decanter again. You're definitely going to want to zoom selection. I'm going to start with the glass. Glass is unlocked. And we're going to grab our Bezier tool. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to follow the glass, or the first part of it at least. I will show you. Okay, right. That's good. L to make that straight in case you forgot. All right, close. Let's see, that's going straight up. All right. I'm going to have it go to this tip right here, and then select that. All right. So what we're going to do is then go to our fill and stroke menu. Let's make sure that that was on the glass layer. It is. All right. We got no stroke. Fill. Flat color. Turning the lightness all the way up and the opacity to 30%. I don't know if that's going to be enough though. Okay, it's enough. It's enough. All right, and there we have it. Now we're going to do the same exact thing, whoops, to the decanter. All right, once again, if you have to repeat any of these steps more than once, please give me a phone call, send me an email, something. I'm going to save that again. Inkscape is getting awfully slow. All right, decanter is going to be a little bit harder. So if you get it outside of the lines, feel free to use more opacity and feel free to use a little bit of um, blur. All right, that should be good. We'll start. No, I'm on the glass layer still. Decanter, and it's locked anyways. Okay. So click here. I don't quite remember how I did this. That's good. That's good. Shift L. Zoom out and down. Zoom in just a little bit. Try clicking down here. Let's see if this works. Okay, yep, that's pretty perfect. All right. And once again, like let's say I accidentally click here, you can just hit the backspace button and then it'll get rid of the last path that you drew. Shift L to make it straight again. All right. And just have it connected. Fill and stroke menu. Stroke. None. Fill. Black color. Lightness all the way up. Good. Let's turn down the alpha. Alpha and opacity are like the same thing, so uh, let's go to 30% opacity. And if you'd like to add a bit of a blur, just a little bit of one. I wouldn't add a big one. Like I'd say that's fine. Right? And this is dragging on, but we still have one more thing to do. All right. We need to work on the grape. I'm sorry, we got two more things to do. So let's go back to our layers and we can lock the decanter. Let's unlock that grape layer and let's find that grape. We're going to select it and we're going to zoom in on it. With the Bezier tool out, what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of make like a little thumbnail, almost like the nail on your thumb, not like something that you see in YouTube. Um, Something like that. Shift L. And then we're going to do the same thing. Stroke, none, fill, flat color. L is all the way up. Opacity at 30%. And nope, it's still at 100. Come on. Okay. 30. Thank you. Blur 10. 10 ain't gonna cut it. 20. That's better. Maybe even 15. 15 works. All right. And that's the grape. Now we need to add shadows. So go back to our layers. Lock the grape layer. We're going to click on our background layer. Don't unlock it. And we're going to add a new layer. Layer, add layer. We want it above the background layer. And it's going to be called the shadow layer. What am I doing?